Welcome back to Village TV. Today we are addressing a raging discussion in the human resource industry, Kolbe versus MYERS BRIGGS. Today we're joined by Liz Newman from Acumen Human Capital to discuss why I should pick Kolbe any day of the week over MYERS BRIGGS.
Yeah.
So Liz, welcome to the show and tell us, why would you pick Kolbe over MYERS BRIGGS?
Yeah, okay. So look, I'm a huge advocate of Kolbe. Sean, I accredited in this system about 13 years ago, and I have actually seen its magic woven through a numerous number of organisations. I've also used MYERS BRIGGS on occasions, but one of the key reasons that I err towards the Kolbe concept is around predictability. So Kolbe looks at what drives us instinctively. So it's not about a personality profile, which of course MYERS BRIGGS is, for those of you who understand about these important things. And because Kolbe is looking at instincts, it has a predictability of what we're coming into this world with is actually what we're going to be leaving the world with. In that way, we can use it very fundamentally in things like recruitment, putting synergistic teams together, in helping our communications, in management, in performance management as well. So it really does have a broad application individually right up to organisationally.
And you talk about individually. What does Kolbe tell us about ourselves that we don't already know about ourselves?
Yeah, sure. And that's an interesting question, because sometimes it is just affirmative. It's just something confirming what we already had a sense of. Because Kolbe is looking at the way that we instinctively take action when we're striving to get things done. That might be making a decision, or it might be being creative. And a solution might actually be written on this piece of paper. The way that you approach that, Sean, is going to be different than the way that I approach that. Doesn't mean to say that your way's better.
No,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately.
And I know that you'd argue that point, but there's no high, low, good, bad in Kolbe. The thing that it reinforces is that for us, we are perfect just the way we are. It's not about changing ourselves and moulding ourselves to fit a situation, but rather adapting a situation, for example, a job, to meet the best way that we do it and to achieve what we need to through our instinctive and natural ways of approaching that.
So what you're saying is that by knowing my Kolbe, I know how best to approach things, but I also know how other people are going to be approaching things given their Kolbe.
Exactly. So one of the really exciting things for me when I'm putting Kolbe into organisations is just seeing the impact that it can have on enhancing and narrowing gaps in communications. Really does help to understand not just yourself but other people's ways of naturally communicating, of naturally using time, of naturally solving problems. And because we are all a little bit different, when it comes to putting project teams together, we can actually select through Kolbe who is going to be best at different phases of projects in order to make sure that things have the right stages, the right people in the right stages, whether that be conceptualizing, whether it is putting the plan together, or whether it's just making sure that all the facts and figures and everything are adding up.
And so we talk about this application into organizations. And let's dig a little deeper there. I'm curious because I'd love to know how you've used Kolbe in an organization to enhance its position, to go from a position of potential weakness to growth and further development.
Yeah, sure. So people are any organization's greatest asset. That's not a new fact.
And cost.
Absolutely. And if we look at how I've helped organisations, if we take it from the very beginning, it's in the recruitment process. So we can actually use Kolbe to help determine some of the aspects that we would be looking for in order for this person to be successful when they do a job. So when it comes to putting a position description together, it has a part to play from the very beginning.
Okay.
When it comes to making sure that we're attracting the right kind of individual into a team so that we're enhancing team synergy and not getting too much of the same kind of talent or the same kind of energy in a team, it has an application there. So we need a spread of talent or instinctive talent across a team to make it really powerful and productive efficient. So that's the sort of recruitment aspect. When it comes to inducting a new person into an organisation, of course, what could be better than having a kickstart to a relationship through very intimately talking to each other's Kolbe A index to make that introduction. Having some insight into how I'm going to best communicate with my manager is something I would have loved to have had many, many moons ago.
Sure.
Well, Kolbe can give us some of that insight, plus. Then moving through into the organisational aspect, it can tell us things about our culture. Okay. It can tell us where we have pockets of stress and strain. It can tell us where we can enhance opportunities through better project management, again, by putting those right people, right talents in the right places. Yep. So, it's very broad-reaching and it's extremely effective because it has this predictability about it. It's one of those things that...
which Myers-Briggs doesn't have.
No, it doesn't. Myers-Briggs is a personality. Your mood today can give you a totally different
but
picture.
It's going to change in an hour, I promise.
It's Friday afternoon, isn't it? So and that can have an impact on the results of your Myers-Briggs profile.
Okay.
As it could on any personality type profile. And when looking at skills testing and psychometrics that look at IQ, depending on what we've studied recently and what we've focused on to enhance our cognitive performance, that can change too. Kolbe doesn't change. Instinctively, we are who we are, thank goodness. And if we work with those strengths as much as possible, we have a better opportunity to be true to ourselves, working with less stress, more effective, greater, producing much more efficiently, and enhancing our interpersonal relationships as well.
I got to agree with you. Since I learned my Kolbe score, I was able to understand why people reacted in certain ways and how people digested information differently. So it made me understand why people got upset with me when they did, or misunderstood me, or why they wouldn't understand the information I was giving them because of how they want or deal with information differently. And it certainly changed the way that we can talk to each other and understand each other and appreciate our individual strengths and weaknesses a lot better. And I think it's a very powerful tool when you get around it. So, Liz, for people out there who go, okay, Kolbe really could add value to my business, can change the way I recruit, make sure I recruit the right person, because let's be honest, 30 minutes to recruit someone, difficult. Knowing what kind of personality you're going to be bringing into your business. You want a bit more than, gut feel, which is good, but you want something a bit more sometimes.
Absolutely. Here's some science,
There's some science, some good science behind it, which...
40 years worth of science behind the Kolbe system,
Some interesting articles the other day also about Myers-Briggs and what kind of science backs that up. Bit doubtful, but let's not get into that today. Let's talk about Kolbe. If people want to know more about Kolbe, where can they find out more about you and Kolbe? Yeah,
absolutely. Well, they can come to my website, which is at acumenhumancapital.com.au. They can call me. I'm in Sydney, so it's 02 8071 0323, direct line, straight into the...
to the mothership?
The Oracle.
The Oracle, yes.
Yeah, and I would be very happy to talk at length about this. It's, as I say, it's something I advocate hugely. I've seen the power behind it, and it's got a credibility that not many others have.
So there you have it. Liz Newman telling you why you should pick Kolbe over Myers-Briggs. Definitely a resource you want in your business. Make sure you get in touch with Liz and chat a little bit more about what Kolbe could do for your business. Liz, great having you on the show. Thank you for telling us a lot more about Kolbe, and I encourage you all out there to get in touch with Liz and learn a bit more about how it can improve your business.
Yep.
That's another edition of Village TV. It's been great having you on the show. Make sure you subscribe to more Village TV shows where we have experts like Liz tell us how we can improve your business and take it to the next stage. For now, bye-bye.
Thanks.